All right, I'm watching our participant count go up, which is great. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Give us a couple more seconds here. All righty. Welcome, everyone, to the Carolinas Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admissions Officers Virtual College Fair. We're so excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools here with us today. Each will have 6 minutes to share more about their institution, but we'll be around for the entire session to answer questions. My name is Chelsea, and I will be your facilitator. Before we get started, a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you, but you are able to use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to them at any time. This is one of many sessions happening, so be sure to check the schedule on the website. The presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/Carolinas. And without further ado, I'd like to turn it over to our first presenter, and that is Roches.
Thank you, Chelsea, so much. Give me just 1 second while I share my screen here. Okay, great. Well, how's everyone doing today? My name is Diogo. I'm the Regional Admissions Manager for Roches School of Hospitality Management. I am also a very proud alumnus of this university, so I speak very highly of it because I actually went here too. We have a campus in Switzerland, Spain, as well as the satellite campus in China. I attended the Swiss campus. A little bit about some facts and figures about our school. We are considered one of the top 3 hospitality management universities worldwide. It says there 98% of our graduates are employed. I would go as much to say that 100% of our graduates are employed or at least receive a job offer prior to their graduation. And we're an extremely international school with over 100 different nationalities represented. People think that hospitality management just means hotel management, but as you can see here from a lot of our top alumni, that's not the case. A lot of them can work for luxury retail companies like Roches. A lot of them can work in hotels as well, events coordinators, or work for sports groups like UEFA and FIFA, or real estate companies like JLL. But of course, we have those traditional hotel brands and the top ones that are coming to recruit our top talent. You see Ritz-Carlton, Shangri-La, Hilton, but then you see the luxury retail companies like Louis Vuitton, and consulting companies like JP Morgan and PwC as well. And on the tech side, we also have Bloomberg and Booking.com. When you come study at Les Roches, you choose one of 4 specialties. Think of them like your minor, because everybody gets the same bachelor's degree in global hospitality management. It's a business degree, but you can focus on entrepreneurship, digital marketing, resort management, or finance. And this year, we're actually adding a 5th one just at our Swiss campus that focuses on sustainability. Here's just a little overview of our Swiss campus. This is where I attended again. Very idyllic village setting. I'm a city boy. I grew up in Houston and in Atlanta, and I thought that maybe coming out to what I called the middle of nowhere in Switzerland was going to be a little tough for me. And I absolutely loved it. And it really wasn't the middle of nowhere. The train connections in Switzerland can get you around quite easily. You can be in a big city like Zurich or Geneva or even Milan in Italy in just a couple of hours. Just to show you a little bit more of the campus as an overview, don't even mind the backdrop there, which is just drop dead gorgeous, but 90% of the buildings in this picture are actually campus buildings, whether they're dorms or they're learning centers for your studies. With our Spain campus, it's located in the south of Spain, in Marbella, in the Costa del Sol. It is a smaller campus, but it still has the same world-class facilities so that you can get that experiential learning as well as the classroom setting later on in your studies, where you're going to be taking classes like financial performance and management or marketing. It's about it's about 1 mile from the beach. And I was just there in December and the weather was still amazing for you to take a jog down to the beach. So if you're looking for a sunny location in a very international setting, then you can't go wrong with the south of Spain. Just to show you there on the map, if you see the little white triangle there in the map of Spain, that's where our campus is. And just the graphic there just shows you a few more of the locations within Spain or just within Europe that you can get to on a weekend or long weekend or during your midterm breaks, and no more than a 2 or 3 hour flight from the Malaga airport. When you study at Les Roches and you do your bachelor's degree with us, you do have to complete 2 internships. It is required, and they have to be 6 months each. That way you come out of the studies already with some work experience. Some examples that you can see there is if you want to work maybe in the food and beverage department, you could be working at the Hilton Morea in Tahiti. Or if you want a more back of house role or like an office role, like sales and marketing, or you're really focused on digital marketing, perhaps you could be at the Four Seasons in Dubai for about 6 months. If you're interested in any sort of study experience, to say go visit the campus, and one thing that we have that's a little bit different is doing a summer experience where you can actually go spend a week or 2 at our campus this summer in Spain or in Switzerland or in both, to really get the feel of what it's like to live a week or 2 in the life of a Les Roches student, and also what it's like to live in Spain or live in Switzerland. And you're going to be there with other prospective students that are looking at studying at this type of school for the future. So if you want some more information, I encourage you to get my contact info there. My QR code leads me to my LinkedIn page, but you can also send me a message via WhatsApp or iMessage, or send me an email there below at diogo.dutcher@lesroches.edu. And that'll do it.
Thank you so much. Next up, we have Radford University.
Awesome, thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you all. Okay, hopefully you all can see that just fine. Hello everyone, my name is Guadalupe Sanchez and I serve as the Assistant Director of Multicultural Recruitment for the university. And today I'm going to be talking to you all just a little bit about Radford University, all the different things that make our university unique, as well as go over some of the admissions requirements for you all. So Radford is a 4-year public institution. We are located down in the southwest part of the state of Virginia. But one of the really great things about our location is that we kind of have the tail end of the Blue Ridge Mountains. So that allows our students to have lots of different opportunities when it comes to hiking or going tubing down the New River. So there's tons of opportunities for students to really enjoy the great outdoors down where we're located in Southwest Virginia. Overall, Radford University is a mid-sized school, so that means that we're not too big, but also not too small. I do like to say that we're kind of that sweet spot for a lot of students. And currently, 1/3 of our students are first-generation college students, which is something that we're very proud of. And about 1/3 of our students come from ethnically diverse backgrounds. And one of the great things about being a mid-sized institution for the university is that this helps us create a strong sense of community for our students. So most of the classes that you will be in at Radford as students will be fairly small. So on average, the average class size currently for Radford is about 20 students per class. And this size usually tends to drop even more in size as you're progressing within your specific program. And currently, our student to faculty ratio is 14 students to 1 faculty member. So once again, this will allow for you to really establish those very strong relationships with your faculty, since you will have direct access to them inside and outside of the classroom. And another great thing about having those smaller class sizes is that you get to have those lively discussions in the classroom with your peers, which is something that we really emphasize at the university, because we don't just want you all to learn from us, we want you to learn from each other, because you also have your own unique perspectives that you can contribute to the discussions within the classroom. And you can see the full list of all of the colleges that we offer at Radford here on the screen, but I always like to point out the Academic Success Center. So this is a place where students can go if they're undecided about the specific program that they're wanting to do. You can always come in as undecided, and we can help you figure out that program that's going to be the best fit for you. But here's a list of some of the academic programs that we offer at Radford. We do have a little bit of everything at the university. So the great thing about each one of these programs is that you can either add a minor to your major, you can do a double major if that's what you want to do, but we do want to encourage students to have a multidisciplinary approach to their education. And then alongside of that, we also want you all to have those experiential learning experiences. So whether it's specific hands-on training through internships, research opportunities with faculty, those are all things that you will get to experience at Radford, regardless of which program it is that you decide to do at the university. Besides our academics, we also do have a variety of resources in place for students. In case you are needing some additional support, we do have access for you all to receive tutoring and other services that are here to support you throughout your college journey. And then of course, we also do have plenty of opportunities for students to have a vibrant student life. We have in the 16 athletic departments, intramural sports, club sports, over 300 clubs and organizations that you all can be a part of, and also opportunities for you all to do study abroad programs. And we currently have partnerships with over 70 different countries. So if you're interested in applying to Radford University, one of the things that you're probably wondering is the cost. How much does it cost to attend Radford? So our cost of attendance is very affordable at the university. We are considered to be one of the most affordable state schools within Virginia, and we do offer very competitive financial aid packages for our students. And you can actually be considered for all of our merit-based scholarship opportunities when you submit your admissions application to Radford. So there's no separate application that you have to submit for those. So to apply, you would just go to our website, radford.edu/apply, or you can apply through the Common App. We don't have a preference on which application you decide to use to apply through. That's just going to be up to you, whatever is most convenient to you. But the application itself is 100% free, so there is no application fee. And besides that, the only other document that we need to complete your application is your official high school transcript. Once we have that, your application is complete and ready for review. Everything else that you see on the screen here is optional, and that includes the SAT and ACT test scores. However, the more information that you submit to our office, more information we have to make an accurate decision on your application. So we highly encourage students to submit that personal statement and also letters of recommendation. And that is the final slide that I have here for you all. We highly encourage students to stay connected with us. We are available on social media, so we're on Facebook and Instagram, and I have heard that we're thinking about adding a TikTok account. So stay connected with us, and hopefully we get to see you all on campus sometime soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, next up we have Bridgewater College.
Post it up real quick. All right, excellent. Well, short intro before we get on into things. Let me get my timer started. My name is Darren Council. I work with the Bridgewater College Admissions Office. Just here to share a little bit of information with you guys. So starting off, kind of where is Bridgewater? So we're right on that little pin, kind of in the northern part of Virginia, really close to the mountains. There's plenty to do as far as outdoors is concerned. North River runs immediately behind the school, so there's a lot of hiking, skiing, kayaking, all sorts of things that happen in the area. So if you like outdoorsy things, fantastic place to be. A little bit about the school in itself. We're a lot smaller of an institution. So we got about 1,500 students on campus. For you guys, that means the average class size sits just a little bit under 20. So definitely a little bit of kind of a closer, more intimate kind of area with your professors, and it really helps you guys facilitate those kind of like postgraduate relationships. And I tell kids all the time, when I graduated, I was off campus, had my degree and everything. One of my professors I was really close with, she was actually sending me job opportunities over that summer. So those opportunities are more than available for all of our students to be able to take advantage of. This is going to be just a small breakdown of our previous class that came in. Got about 45% male, 55% female, about 31% students from underrepresented groups, and a lot of our students coming from Virginia, about 75%, but we also have 28 states worth of students who are coming in. So kind of a nice little, pretty diverse area. Also, we have about a third of our student body who are student athletes, and middle 50%, those are just going to be some ranges from most of our students who are applying and getting into the school, kind of no questions asked, essentially. So as far as academics, we have plenty to be able to offer you guys. More than 30 majors and minors. You'll see some of our top ones up there: business admin, bio, health and human sciences. You know, if you want to be a PT, AT, anything like that. Psychology is another huge one for us. And then liberal studies, which for us basically is going to be the teacher education major. We do also have plenty of pre-professional programs. So if you want to be, a vet, if you want to be an engineer, anything like that, we can really help you out. And also it's really nice because all of our professors, since they're working so close with you, they really map out the direction of, the grad school you're going to want to go to, the GPA ranges, the prerequisites, everything that you need to be able to get into the door. So there's really no kind of questions when you're going through that process, which is really, really nice. And then we also have quite a few here, master's programs, athletic training, digital media strategies, human resource management, as well as psychology. Now, basically, as far as how our education kind of works, we're fully focused on experiential learning. So basically, that's about giving you guys opportunities outside the classroom to be able to do a lot of your work hands-on. And that kind of shows itself a few different ways. We have field experience, which is just all of our classes, all of our different majors, giving you guys those opportunities to be outside the classroom, learning and doing. You'll see part of what we have there, teacher education program. Our teachers are spending, or future teachers, are spending hours and weeks inside the classroom teaching students, inside the classroom shadowing other students and professors, teachers and professors. So it really, really helps you guys have kind of a strong base when you're coming out of college. We also have a lot of May-term trips. Those are inside and outside the country. That's going to be just a quick example of our South Africa trip over the May-term. You do all different sorts of fun things. You see over here, they pet baby cheetahs. On that trip, I know they jump off the world's tallest bungee bridge. They help build houses for people, a bunch of different crazy things. So really good opportunities. And we have multiple of those trips that are going out every single summer. So inside your major, outside those majors, those opportunities are widely rampant for you guys. And then internships are going to be another pretty huge thing for us. They're not necessarily required, but your professors, academic advisors, everybody's really going to push you to take as many as you can fit into your schedule, just so you can really get as much work experience as possible. So you can go out into the workforce and actually be able to show people I know how to do these things versus I've just heard about it. Just a little bit about residential life as well. We're fully residential. So basically we guarantee students housing for all 4 years. That way you really don't have to worry about, subleasing, finding an apartment, anything like that. If you're a student on campus, we have some kind of space for you. We have everything from houses to apartments. We have a hotel we recently bought. That's now part of the housing. All of that comes fully furnished. You guys also get AC and heat in every single building, which surprisingly is not a thing everywhere. And also you get free laundry, which may not seem like a huge deal because laundry is probably free in your house, but as parents or older siblings might be able to tell you, not saving up the quarters is extraordinarily convenient. Also, as far as meal plans, we're unlimited. So literally you can go to the dining facility 9 times a day, every single day for 4 years if you wanted to, completely unlimited. And it has some pretty flexible hours over there as well. We do also have a cafe on campus. And we also have a to-go option. And both of those aren't part of the meal plan, but we give students 100 BC bucks per year. So you guys can spend it on that. You can spend it at the campus store, or whatever you want to use that money for. And basically, as far as sort of continuing with the student life thing, we have plenty of clubs and organizations, more than 60 for kids to be involved in. That ranges from sports, political, food related, everything under the sun. The groups are really, really active on campus, so there's always things to do. We also have a lot of intramurals, highly popular on campus. And that's going to be, if you're unfamiliar, basically like a rec league that runs through the school. And it's kind of nice because we do an NCAA bracket style. If you win, you get to the top, you get a really, really nice intramural championship shirt, highly coveted. If you get one your freshman year, you're a very impressive kid. But yeah, definitely a good time for some competition. And we have more than 50% of our participation in that for the whole campus. Last couple little bits, we do have athletics, 23 NCAA teams, equestrian, cheer, and dance. Plenty of national champions and All-Americans here over the past couple of years. And the last little bit is just going to be financial aid. So basically, we're giving more than half of our students at the school more than $30,000 in financial aid, and that's just for applying. So highly advise you to try to get that in, and we've financed and passed through you guys super, super quick. And the only thing that we need from you is going to be your application, your transcript, and if you want to apply standard, then you can just submit your test scores and you'll be good to go. Perfect. Well, that's everything on my end. You can screenshot that if you happen to want to send me any questions individually, and I will pass it on to the next person.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Next up, we have the University of Alabama at Birmingham.
There we go. Hello, everyone. My name is Casey Crisp, and I am the Regional Admissions Counselor for UAB for North Carolina and South Carolina. So can everyone see or Chelsea, can you confirm that you can see my screen? I'm not getting the green box. So
yes, you're
okay,
all set.
okay. Thank you so much. So just to jump right in and tell you guys a little bit about UAB. So we're a mid-sized institution located in Birmingham, Alabama. We have about 14,000 undergraduate students, and about 30% of those students are from out of state. So you would certainly not be alone. A couple of cool things about us is that our campus is incredibly diverse. We're about 45% students of color. Students are from all over the US and internationally. We've been recognized as a diversity champion by Insight into Diversity since 2018. Another thing we're really proud of is we've been ranked the #1 young US university by the Times Higher Ed for the past several years. And so that's something that, UAB is a little over 50 years old, that have really made a large impact and are really proud of that. To tell you a little bit about us, we're the 3rd largest public health system in the country. So one big thing that UAB tends to be known for is healthcare and medicine. There are 7 hospitals on our campus. And at the graduate level, we have a medical school, a dental school, optometry, PT, OT, and a PA school, as well as nursing. So a lot of those programs and kind of that general healthcare focus trickles down to our undergraduate programs. There are certainly plenty of things outside of healthcare that you could focus on, but that does tend to be our bread and butter as an institution, and what we tend to be known for students coming from out of state. So if you've never been to Birmingham, Alabama, our campus is located in downtown Birmingham, which I think makes it an incredibly cool place to go to school. There very much is a college campus feel. There's a big campus green right in the heart of campus, and very much everything kind of surrounding that is all UAB. But even just a few blocks over, you have a minor league baseball stadium, a lot of music festivals come to Birmingham, tons to do just across the city. And then my personal favorite thing about Birmingham is the food scene. That's also something students will talk about a lot, is just how many cool restaurants there are. There's a lot to do just outside of your college experience that makes it just a really great place to kind of grow and learn in an environment that's pretty different from home. I want to just hit some highlights of our academic programs. We have 120 majors at UAB. So while I certainly won't be able to talk about all of those, you can find those at uab.edu/degrees. These are the listing of all of our colleges and schools. So our School of Nursing is ranked 10th in the country. It's very exceptional. We also offer direct admission pathway. So rather than having to wait after your sophomore year of college to apply to the nursing major, you can actually be admitted as an incoming freshman. School of Health Professions is going to be great if you're interested in pursuing graduate programs, so biomedical sciences, healthcare administration. We also have public health engineering. We tend to be known for biomedical engineering. Our School of Business is very popular given our placement in Birmingham. So there's over 4,000 businesses in Birmingham. There's the largest incubator for small businesses and entrepreneurship is located just down the road from us. So the business community in Birmingham is incredibly accessible for UAB students. School of Education, if you're interested in that pathway, we have multiple options for everything from early childhood to secondary education. And then our College of Arts and Sciences is the largest. It holds 35 of our majors that range from everything to medical sociology, social work, criminal justice, all the way to all of our natural sciences. I do want to highlight a couple of pretty specialized programs that we offer. The first of those is called the Joint School of Medicine programs, which are the 6 majors that are listed on the screen. Those are part of that program, which means that our medical school faculty are going to partially teach those classes, which is awesome because you're getting exposure to great research. Those folks can write you letters of recommendation and they're already teaching in a medical school. The other thing about that is like cancer biology and immunology, for example, we're the only undergraduate institution in the country that offers those as undergraduate degrees. So you can really get specialized if you're interested in pre-med or pre-dentistry. You can take something that's so much more applied to healthcare rather than just a general biology degree, which is really awesome. The other thing that we offer is something called MSAP, which is our Early Medical School Acceptance Program, which means during your senior year of high school, you would have to apply for this by November 15th. But this is a program that you can apply to be early admitted to our medical, dental, or optometry program. As you can imagine, it is highly competitive. You have to have at least a 3.5 GPA and a 30 on the ACT or 1360 on the SAT to apply. But if you're accepted, then you have a guaranteed admission to dental, medical, or optometry. You would select what you're interested in by the time you graduate from UAB. So still 4 years undergrad, 4 years medical school. But that is an incredibly popular program that really gives students an advantage if you know for sure that you want to pursue those programs. I know that, you know, for those of you in the Carolinas, like we're anywhere from like 6 to 9 hours away down south, but we would love to have you come visit. We also have a lot of virtual visit opportunities, so you can check those out at this website here. And then I'd also like to just give you my email address as well as all of our social media handles so that you can check out more information and learn a little more about UAB. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. Next up, we have Virginia Commonwealth University.
All right, let me go ahead and share my screen here. So, awesome. So a little bit about VCU. We are located right in the heart of Richmond, Virginia. We are an urban university. So if you're kind of looking for a little bit of that city feel, VCU does have that. Richmond itself, it is a mid-sized city. It's about 2 hours away from pretty much everything. I like to say 2 hours away from the beach, the mountains, about 2 hours away from North Carolina, 2 hours away from DC. Now you have to factor in traffic there. It's a little crazy, but we are still really close, really central to everything. We have over 550 acres of just kind of park system. We're a very outdoor friendly city. We are one of the few cities with at least class 4 rapids kind of within the city as well. Browns Island, Belle Isle, those are 2 awesome locations that are located really within a mile from campus where students can hike, fish, whitewater rafting, all of that different stuff. There's a lot of adventures to be had there despite being in a city. But there are advantages to being in a city. There's 7 Fortune 500 companies headquartered here, 11 Fortune 1000 companies, and also Richmond itself is very small business friendly. We were also voted the 7th best place to eat, or the 7th top destination for food lovers by Yelp. So there is a lot of good food here as well. In terms of size, so VCU itself, we are a large university. We have a little bit over 29,000 students total, with an undergraduate population of a little over 23,000 students. We've got 2 main campuses, both the Monroe Park campus, which is the majority of undergraduate students, and then the Medical College of Virginia. That's actually the 2nd largest hospital in Virginia. Despite being a really large university, we do have an 18-to-1 student to faculty ratio, and we have an average classroom size of around 27 students per classroom. But you do get those advantages of a large university. Again, we have over 200,000 active alumni, so there is a lot of networking, research involved there as well. We are also a tier 1 research university. We're a top 3 research university in the state of Virginia in terms of funding. Last year, we had over $363 million allocated to sponsored research, and that's across all of our major related programs. In terms of some deadlines that we do have coming up, you're dead set on applying to VCU, I usually recommend applying by or before November 1st. That if you do that and get your transcripts in by that deadline, you're automatically considered for either the presidential, provost, or dean's merit-based scholarship. But if you apply by or before January 18th, you are going to hear back by or before April 1st. Working through a lot of those applications right now. We'll try to get you those decisions as quickly as possible, but we are rolling admission as well. So even if you apply after that deadline, or if you're a current senior and you're interested in VCU, you can still apply. We'll still get you a decision. I just don't have that exact time frame. In terms of just kind of applications, middle 50% of students will have somewhere between a 3.39 to a 4.06 GPA. We are test optional. We are going to be test optional indefinitely. But if you do turn in your SAT scores, that middle 50% of the reading comprehension and math sections is somewhere between a 1060 to 1250, with the ACT composite score being between a 22 to 27. We have 68 different undergraduate majors. We have over 200 programs for you to study from, including nationally ranked programs in the medical field and our School of the Arts, social work, education, business, and engineering as well. But on top of that, we have a lot of other really great programs here. So I definitely would encourage you to check out VCU, and I will leave my contact information in the chat as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm going to ask everyone to jump back on the screen here. We're going to do a couple questions so we can hear from everybody at least one more time. So my first question is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process right now? And we're going to go in the order that we presented in. So LaRoche, you are first.
Sure. Even though I didn't do this myself, I would say go to the campuses, visit the schools yourself, especially if you're going somewhere that's far from home from you. If it's close to home, you have no excuse. You should definitely go. But if it is somewhere that is abroad, like my university or on the other side of the country, go there to really see if that's a place that you could see yourself thrive in, and see if you see that the student body is something that you could mesh with as well.
Awesome. Thank you. Radford University, what is your advice?
Thank you. I would say that the main thing would be to choose a university that's going to be the best fit for you. I feel like a lot of students sometimes choose a school based off of where their parents want them to go, or maybe where their best friend is going to college, which is all, fine and dandy. But I would suggest find a university that is going to be that best fit for you, because there are a lot of different schools within our country. We have 4,000 schools, colleges, and universities. So there are lots of different opportunities that you can choose from. So just choose a school that has everything that you need academically, socially, and financially.
Thank you so much. Bridgewater College, what is your advice?
Yeah, kind of bouncing off what everybody else said. I think it's really important to visit places kind of like multiple times, because I think that when you visit the first time, you figure out very quickly like things that you like and don't like. So I know, like she just mentioned, there's thousands of schools in the US. So sometimes it feels a little daunting to, pick one or one type of school. But if you go to like a really small school, you might feel like, oh, I really like this vibe, or no, I want to go somewhere bigger. Same thing if you go to a huge school, you figure out almost immediately when you're on the campus, like, oh, this feels right, or oh, this feels like way too much. So as you go places, you'll figure those things out, and it gets easier and easier to narrow down your list. And when you find a place that you really like, just try to visit there multiple times and make sure that the vibe is right for you.
Awesome. Thank you. University of Alabama at Birmingham.
Yeah, so I think a really valuable thing to do is talk to students at the universities. While we as admissions counselors can give you a lot of information, like we don't go to school there every day. Maybe we did in the past, but to talk to current students, I know we offer like current student chats. So, and most universities can get you connected to a current student to talk with them. But I think oftentimes they can speak so much to like what their experience is and really bring that university to life for you in terms of, what does it look like to just like live there and be a student in that environment every day. So if you have opportunities to attend like student panels, to request a meeting with a student, that is something that I really think is incredibly valuable.
Absolutely. Thank you. And Virginia Commonwealth University, what is your advice?
Yeah, and I would also just follow up with us, and don't be afraid to reach out to admissions counselors, especially with schools that you are interested in. Not every university is the same. Not every university looks at the same things as well. So I would just maintain that relationship. That's what we're here for, is to answer those questions. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Some great advice. All right. Now I would like to know, what is one thing you want students to know about your school specifically? And we'll jump back to La Roche.
Yeah, the one thing is that we are a business school. It says global hospitality management, but it's way bigger than just hotels. If you want to study business, if you want to be in an international environment and have an international career, you don't see yourself maybe staying within the US for the rest of your life, then La Roche is that kind of gateway path for you.
Thank you. Radford?
I would say the one takeaway from Radford University is that we kind of have the best of both worlds as a mid-sized institution. We're small, where you're going to really have that strong sense of community, and you're going to feel like a part of our Radford Highlander family. But at the same time, you're also going to have those large school experiences, whether it's through research and the different experiential learning opportunities that we have for students. So you get the best of both worlds.
Awesome. Thank you. Bridgewater College?
Yeah, so I think one of the things that's really nice about the school is the connection that you guys are able to build with your professors. I mean, like, we don't do any kind of student teaching or anything here, so you're not going to get somebody my age teaching biology, business, anything. These are all people who have worked out in the field, do work out in the field, and have friends who work out in the field. So a lot of times their connections can really become yours, and nobody's ever going to make you sit down, talk with them in the office, but you find after especially a year, you really just get to know those people, and they can really, really help you out as far as landing jobs once you're moving on.
Thank you so much. University of Alabama?
Yeah, I didn't get to talk about this a lot, but one thing that I would want you guys to know is that UAB is an incredibly collaborative environment. Like it's a place that the students on campus, like, they really like UAB. They really like going to school there. It's an incredibly community-based institution, which you wouldn't always expect at a place that's very medicine driven, STEM driven, but really, rather than that kind of competitive nature, like, students are really supportive of one another, and you can really just be yourself there. And so I think it makes it just a place to be for all students, where you can come and pursue what you're interested in without having to feel like you're kind of in it alone, or having to be competitive with other students. So as the students say, there are good vibes at UAB.
I love that. Thanks. And Virginia Commonwealth?
Yeah, I mean, we are in the city. That's the other one to kind of brace. It might not be a traditional campus all the time. Now, we do have our own separate campus. Don't get me wrong. It is its own community, but it is awesome for students that are looking to go within and kind of be within a city. Just being a part of the large research university right in the middle of everything is a really cool experience for our students. So definitely check us out if that's something that you're interested in.
Thank you. Okay, my last question is, what is one myth you'd like to debunk on the admissions process? I'll jump back to La Roche.
Us regional admissions people, we're not out here to get you, and we want to find, of course, the right candidate for our school. So when we have these interviews, when we do talk with you, don't read too much into what we're asking you. We just want to make sure that you fit into our university and that we fit for you, because we don't want you to come to our university and then decide, wait, this wasn't the right fit for me. Especially at a niche university like ours and a small school, we want you to feel comfortable, and that's the most important thing for us.
Thank you. Radford?
I would say that you don't have to have the perfect grades to be admitted into a university. A lot of students really are freaking out and are worried about their GPA and having that perfect SAT or ACT test score. And I just want to let you know that it's a full review of your application that we do in the admissions committee review process. So don't feel too overwhelmed about your GPA or a specific class that you struggled in. I would say just give us additional context. So if you did struggle in a specific class, but you maybe address it in your personal statement or you give us additional information about it, we're going to take those things into consideration when we review your application. So don't be too scared that you need to be that perfect student, that straight A student with that perfect SAT or ACT test score. We will look at everything that we have available in your application to be able to fully give you an accurate admissions decision on your application.
Wonderful. Thank you. Bridgewater College?
Yeah, so I would say when you're going through your college selection process, try to be really attentive about the kinds of scholarships that you're getting from institutions. I know a lot of times you hear, public schools are, always less expensive than private schools. That's not necessarily the case. I mean, I know myself, plenty of my friends, part of the reason why I went to Bridgewater is because that was the best financial aid package that we got from in-state school, out-of-state school, private, public. And on top of that, I would definitely say really try to talk to your guidance counselors if you have a little more time in school and really try to apply to some outside scholarships. I mean, I talked to so many high school guidance counselors who tell their kids, into their senior year, apply at, one scholarship every single month. There's some kids going into their, freshman year of college having an additional $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 of scholarship money. So take a little bit of extra time to be able to search for some other opportunities. So, maybe not the huge Amazon, Coca-Cola ones, but local businesses, local churches. There's literally hundreds of thousands of dollars floating around for students for existing. So definitely do a little digging for that.
That's awesome. Thank you. University of Alabama?
Yeah, I'll stay along the money lines. So a lot of times students assume that going out of state is going to be impossible for me to afford. And I know there's several out of state institutions here for the Carolinas. That's not always true. We are often very motivated to have out-of-state students attend our universities. And I know at UAB, we award out-of-state scholarships up to $20,000 a year, and our tuition is $25,500. So that's a significant portion of your tuition that can be covered with an out-of-state scholarship that oftentimes can be equivalent to what you're getting in-state. But oftentimes I find that students don't even apply because they think, well, there's no way that I can afford it. So don't write an out-of-state institution off. Oftentimes we can really, we can award you scholarships that can make it very affordable.
Awesome. Thank you. And Virginia Commonwealth?
Yeah, this is echoing a lot of Radford University. But it was a really good point in terms of we are looking for kind of people that are going to succeed at our institution when we're looking at these applications, when we're looking at these students. You don't need to win the Nobel Peace Prize or anything like that. I know how competitive everything can seem, but at the end of the day, and you're going to find with most universities, that's kind of what we're looking for. Is just we are taking the information that you give us and we're kind of using that to see, hey, this student can do well here. And I saw a question here about how can a student stand out when applying to colleges. And I will say, and this probably echoes a lot of my colleagues, but there's no magic formula to it. A lot of these universities, they have a lot of different types of students that go there, a lot of different types of students that you'll interact with. So one club's not usually better than the other or anything like that. If you're passionate, if you're involved, we're going to love to see that.
Thank you so much. All righty. And with that, I'm going to wrap things up here. So thank you so much to our presenters for all of your time and putting all this information together for us. And thank you to our participants for spending the evening with us. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 5-question survey. We really appreciate any feedback you can provide. We encourage you to check back to the schedule and sign up for more sessions. You'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all the other recordings at strivescan.com/Carolinas. And with that, we have completed the session. Thank you so much again for joining us. Have a good night.